One of our speakers and one of our colleagues, and a person who will introduce our first formal speaker, and that's Professor Walter McDougall, a good friend, a good colleague, and a very, very distinguished scholar who works with FPRI. And I can never remember all of this off the top of my head, and I don't want to miss any of his distinguished achievements. He's Professor of History and Aloy Anson Professor of International Relations at the University of Pennsylvania. Walter has a distinguished teaching, writing, speaking pedigree. If I listed all these things, we'd be here for the next couple of hours, so I won't do that. We particularly like him because he got his PhD at the University of Chicago. He taught for many years at the University of California, Berkeley. He is director of the International Relations Program at the University of Pennsylvania, teaches history of all kinds. He is the author of many books, Throes of Democracy, The American Civil War Era, Freedom Just Around the Corner, A New American History, 1585 to 1828, Promised Land, Crusader State, The American Encounter with the World since 1776, Let the Sea Make a Noise, A History of the North Pacific from Magellan to MacArthur, and as recipient of the Pulitzer Prize, The Heavens and the Earth, A Political History of the Space Age. Walter has been to all 12 of these conferences as a speaker, an introducer, a coach, a mentor, an advisor, a distinguished scholar. He's just a terrific person and a veteran of the United States Army, and he served his country in the Vietnam War. And it is my great honor to welcome back to the podium a friend and colleague and great leader, Walter McDougall.
Thank you, Paul. Well, as director of the FPRI's Butcher History Institute, it's my honor to welcome you all to this exciting event. I especially welcome, as Paul already has, our extraordinary self-selected participants who teach secondary school. You have volunteered for a career, or, as I like to think of it, a sacred calling that is insufficiently honored in our mercenary, self-absorbed culture, but a calling which is, I assure you, honored here. Now, these weekends are labors of love for us because they combine the intellectual stimulation of all-star panels of scholars, expert speakers, the chance to mix with high school teachers deployed on the front lines of American education, and not last but not least, the outstanding hospitality and first-class rations here at the First Division Museum. As Paul said, this is already our 12th time that we have taken our road show to Cantini, and it is the 54th FPRI History Institute since 1992. So thank you, Colonel Herbert, for welcoming us, and thanks to all of the staff responsible for designing and planning the program, including the Madeline and Keene Butcher Endowment, the Bradley Foundation, Alan Luxembourg, our president and peerless leader, Michael Noonan, the XO of our National Security Program, Paul Dickler, a retired high school teacher himself, an APUSH instructor, and I like to think a charter member of the High School Faculty Hall of Fame, which doesn't exist. Also, J.D. Camus of the First Division Museum and Rachel Hemler, our super efficient events coordinator. I promise you an exhilarating 28 hours.